So Pete, a question that comes up is what happens to vSAN when the vCenter server fails? Um, do all my VMs go down? Does my data center catch on fire? What's the reaction there?
Yeah, so the good answer and the thing that everyone can take a lot of comfort in is that vSAN continues to operate in exactly the same way as if vCenter was actually running. vSAN is a fully distributed storage system in both the data plane and the control plane. But vCenter is simply the focused area of management in which most people use to make the adjustments there. So it's been built in such a way that if vCenter is offline, all of the systems are in place to understand the continuation of I/O and things of that nature. And then if vCenter comes back up online, or let's say there's some permanent failure with vCenter and you have to restore it, then it's going to be able to reclaim that metadata and all of the intelligence around that vSAN cluster. Now, we do have some interesting health checks with regards to this as well. One of them is to help the system understand if the vCenter server is in an authoritative state. And what this is going to do is check to figure out if that new vCenter server is able to make some of the configuration changes on the existing vSAN cluster. And so this is going to show up as a health alert. If it's green, everything's fine. If it's in a warning state, then it will allow you a method to simply remediate that action so that it can reclaim that fully authoritative state.
Yeah, that happened to me. I actually simulated this and it was great. I followed the steps of the KB. I added all the hosts back into the cluster. Then I said, hey, there's this health alarm and hit resynchronize, after I had added them all. So it's a pretty simple process, it looked like.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, this is one of the great reasons for having a lab environment so that you really can experiment with this. If you're fairly new to vSAN in an arrangement, you may be very fearful and thinking, okay, well, all of the data funnels through vCenter. The fact of the matter is that it simply does not. It never did. And you could also experiment with these failure scenarios so that you can really become much more comfortable and fluid with what you need to do in the event if there was some sort of an outage.
Well, and that's yet another reminder to back up your vCenter server. It will throw a nice little banner warning now if you do not have a file backup configured. So log into 5480, log into VAMI, and configure that backup.